Hey, my name is Ben. Thanks for stopping by Christian Family Finance. Right away before we get started, if you're interested in finances and learning more about personal finance, please subscribe down below and hit that bell icon to be notified about when we release future videos. We'll cover topics like budgeting, investing, and eventually even retirement and insurance even. So we would love to have you along for the ride. It'd be fantastic. So also, if you have any questions, share them down below. Today we're going to talk about earning money on your liquid cash. So money that you have for whatever reason, if you're saving it up for something, or if it's just the cash balance that you keep in your checking account, it's really nice to earn a little bit of interest on that money. And I'm going to show you where we earned, I think, close to $3,000 or $4,000 over the past 5 years from our checking account. That's going to be a little bit towards the end of the video, so make sure you hang out and see that there. But we're going to start with going through just kind of your traditional savings account, and then CD or certificate of deposit, which is a little bit less liquid, but it may apply to some of you. And then finally, the checking account that we earned our money on. So check all of those things out. It's going to be fantastic, and we'll jump into that right now. I guess I should probably go back in the house so that you can see the stuff on the computer. We're going to go ahead and just start with regular old savings accounts. We're going to talk about the type of account that I use towards the end here, but we'll start with savings accounts because that's kind of what most people are probably interested in. If you go to bankrate.com, they do a pretty good job of aggregating the different banks that have their up-to-date interest rates available so that you can see and compare them. Now, when you first come here, they're going to show you just the featured ones, and I think that's because they probably get a commission from people that sign up for banking through these places. So if we go to all products here, we'll see that we have actually a higher interest rate available here at My Savings Direct. You'll probably have to search them directly because they don't actually have a link to their website here if you click around. So I think that this is just data that they're providing, even though bankrate.com doesn't get a kickback. So just be aware of that so that you make sure you click on all products. And each one of these is going to have some different requirements, so we're not going to go through that specifically as far as minimum balance and all those sorts of things. We're just going to look at our general APY, which in this case is 2.4% at the very best. If we go through their featured one, which for sure you'd be able to sign up for, that's only 2.25%, but still pretty reasonable. Only a few years ago, you'd be lucky to get 1% on your money, so to be able to get a little over 2%, that's pretty fantastic. And you put the money there and it's going to earn interest. It's going to be liquid. You can pull some out if you need it. So that's a good option. I will link to Bankrate in the description, and any other useful information that I have will be down there as well. Okay, so that's pretty much your savings accounts there. Let's go over and take a look at CDs for a couple minutes. So CD is technically not fully liquid because you're committing it to be locked away for a period of time. Here you can see you got 6 months, a year, all those different options. The longer you're willing to lock it away, the more they'll pay you. And the only reason I still am listing this, even though it's technically not as liquid, is that a lot of times the early withdrawal penalties are fairly minimal. So the CD that I have at my bank right now, the early withdrawal fee is basically just forfeiting interest for 90 days. And so the last 90 days of interest that I would have made on that CD, I forfeit that, but there's no other fees involved. So this could be an option. Just make sure that you understand what the early withdrawal fees are like, and you might be able to get this higher interest rate here. We've got 2.89% interest. Again, we'd have to look at what the specifics are, if this bank even allows people from outside of Indiana to get the account or not. If we go to featured, we know that we can get at least 2.75. So that is very reasonable as well. Okay, so there's your CDs. So again, you can go to bankrate.com and you can find all this up-to-date information. So let's go to the next option. They also list checking accounts on Bankrate, and checking accounts, some of them earn interest, believe it or not, which is kind of interesting. Haha, no pun intended. So the best one that they have available here is 2.02% interest on your checking account. So that's not bad either. Okay, we are going to now talk about my favorite and the one that I would recommend to you, which is Kasasa. Kasasa is not a bank. They are a company that provides a packaged service that then smaller banks and credit unions can offer to their customers. So we used to be able to see the list of banks right on this website, but now for some reason the regulations changed and they have to go through a third-party site. So we'll click on Discover an account near you. That opens up a new tab at depositaccounts.com. Here we click on Find Your Account Now on this big Kasasa banner here, and it's going to bring up a list of all the Kasasa accounts in the United States. Now, you are not automatically eligible for all of these, so don't get too excited about that 4.5% because you only are eligible for that if you live in Indiana, it looks like. So if you're in Indiana, you get access to the very best one on Kasasa, so that's pretty cool. Up here, you'll be able to select which state you are from. So in this case, I am from Minnesota. So let's just take a quick look in Minnesota and see what it's like at the moment. Okay, the highest interest rate is 3.5% at One American Bank. That's pretty good. Now, the thing you have to pay attention to is the max right here. Max means that's the maximum amount of money that they will pay you that 3.5% interest on. So if you're going to be having more than $10,000 in your account, you might actually have a better option. So let's just say that you wanted to have $25,000 in here. This is going to now reorder them based on the estimated earnings. So even though the interest rate at this bank, Iowa State Bank, is a little bit lower, we are still able to earn more because it has a higher maximum for the balance that earns that higher interest rate. Okay, now there's a couple different products that Kasasa offers. Kasasa Cash, that's automatically highlighted, is the best one. But you can dig more into these if you want. You can read about them on their website. They offer a percentage back on your debit card spending per month. And these monthly maximums are usually pretty low. So I really wouldn't even recommend that at all. Kasasa Saver is just a savings account that kind of can be paired with your Kasasa Cash account, and those interest rates are low. Now they're low. They used to be high because the interest rates used to be a lot lower, but as we can see right over here, we can make more money than that, so that's not really a compelling product at this point either. Okay, so Kasasa Cash, here are the options here. Let's check Texas just for fun. Texas, you can get 3% here. Again, you have to check the details, make sure that you're eligible to become a member. Let's check California. Maybe they seceded. Oh, no, they're still here. Okay, you can make 2.95%, it looks like. So lots of really good options, pretty much no matter where you live. Let's check Alaska because they're way out there, right? Oh, they're eligible as well. I think there's a few of these banks that are eligible nationwide. Yeah, see, this one's a nationwide bank. You can see all the states that it is allowed you're allowed to become a member. Okay, so there's a little bit of a catch, and it's not that big of a catch, but it is something that I should explain. So let's go back to Minnesota, and I'll just show you my local bank, or one of the banks that I am eligible for. So Minnesota, Iowa State Bank. Let me open their website directly here. And here is Iowa State Bank. Now they should have information probably right on their front page about Kasasa. Yes, they do. So here's our Kasasa Cash program. We already realized that that's the one that we're interested in. Let's click Learn More. And here are the details. And a lot of these banks are very similar in these requirements. And Kasasa, I think, requires that they have similar requirements, but they do vary slightly. Earn 3.25% on up to $25,000. We knew that already. Here are some of the benefits. One of the cool benefits is you get ATM refunds on nationwide on up to $20 worth of fees per month if you qualify for interest that month. So in order to qualify, this right here is the important part that you have to be aware of. You have to have at least 10 debit card purchases that post and settle to your account in a given cycle, as well as one direct deposit or automatic payment post and settle, like an ACH transaction. Even like PayPal transfers count as an ACH transaction. So that's pretty easy qualification to meet. Always contact the bank with whoever you're whatever bank you end up using, and make sure you understand fully these requirements. Requirement number 3 is to be enrolled and agree to receive e-statements. So they're just wanting to not have to mail you tons of stuff, and that's going to help them save some money. And assuming you meet those qualifications, then you get all of these benefits up here, and that high interest rate and the refund on your ATM fees, and it is really fantastic. If you don't make the requirements 1 month, you still earn a tiny bit of interest. So, and there are no fees on the account. So it's a really great product, no fees. You have the potential of making a really good interest rate, and so I would highly recommend Kasasa. But if you want to take a more hands-off approach and you already have a checking account that you really love with your current bank, definitely take a look at these other savings accounts that are available, or even a CD if that's something that is applicable to you. You don't need the money as soon. That's probably a better way that could be a good way to go if you don't want to have to mess with those transactions and things. Or if you have a greater amount than $25,000, then you're probably going to be better off with a regular savings account as well. They're basically wanting to motivate you to be an active customer and not just there for the interest. You're going to be also making transactions with your debit card, which helps them earn a little bit of that money back. And you're more likely to use their other services in the future. So that is Kasasa. That is how we have earned money in the past. And like I said, I don't know if I said it earlier or not, but we've probably earned close to $4,000 or $3,000 to $4,000 on interest from Kasasa. And so we have been super pleased with them and thankful that we came across it. So thanks a ton for watching. I hope that was helpful. If it was, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. And if we earned your subscription, please subscribe down below and hit that bell icon to make sure you don't miss the next video. So I really appreciate it, and we'll talk to you in the next one. Happy New Year.